ain't tripping. Turn your neck and your dang missing. Me and Slim, we ain't tripping. I'm finger flipping, sipping like do or die. I'm post. Car stop, rims keep spinning. I'm flipping, drop with invisible tops. Bob with my drop, step out. I'm shaking the block with 418s. Candy green with 11 screens. My gasoline always supreme. Got the brand with a pan of. It tastes grinding to be a king. It tastes grinding to be a king. First round drop beats coming. Who is Mike Jones coming? Slab shining with the grilling woman. Slab shining with the grilling woman. I'm Mike Jones. Mike Jones, the one and only. You can't clone me. Got a lot of haters and a lot of homies. Some friends and some phony. Back then, didn't want me. Now I'm hot, all on me. Back then, didn't want me. Now I'm hot, all on me. Back then, didn't want me. Now I'm hot, all on me. Back then, didn't want me. Now I'm hot, all on me.
What it do is power wow, I'm the people's champ. My chain light up like.
Welcome to 2K TV. I'm Alexis Morgan, and if you're not already, make sure you're following us on social media. We're on Twitter.
Presented by Twitch Prime. Use your Twitch Prime to subscribe to the NBN.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson.
You
here
see
with
that?
Shaquille O'Neal.
25K VC, 5 team packs.
In a few moments, we'll be sending you out to Philadelphia
that.
as the 76ers.
Give me your money. I mean, give the league your money.
Welcome to Philadelphia, everyone, as the 76ers get ready to defend home court in the Eastern Conference. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, our sideline reporter, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. We've got a special treat for you folks tonight. And with tip-off...
Well, thanks,
great stuff, David. Thanks. You know, Bill, when you look at the players the Sixers have put together, they should be a perennial contender, it would seem, on paper for years to come.
But that's the thing about the NBA. You never know.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of these
Bill
teams
Simmons,
that
and it's not
look
Boston.
like they were the next potential dynasty. Within 2 years, they made a trade. Somebody got hurt. I mean, you talk about the 80s Rockets. You talk about the Magic in the 90s. They made the finals. Within 14 months, that whole team is gone. The OKC Thunder, 2012, Game 5, Miami. I took a picture of KD and Harden and Westbrook with their arms around each other. They never played together again. So I think the thing you learn over and over again with basketball, even Derrick Rose and the Bulls, every time you think there's the next young team that's coming, they still have to actually do it, and sometimes they don't.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. Setting the floor for the Bucks. Middleton and Giannis are out on the wing. Ilyasova out there with Jordan. And it's Young in at the 1 spot. To the inside, Jordan. And Philadelphia grabs the miss.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Redick with the bucket.
This is why you must play up on Redick, because he's terrific at shooting off the pass.
Young outside. Buries the long-range jumper.
And that's how you answer back.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, go right back at him. Show him you can shoot from outside all night long.
Redick dishes to Ingles. Redick with it, and Young picks him up defensively. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Step back shot. Doesn't go for him. Good D by Jordan. Antetokounmpo against Simmons. Antetokounmpo kicks to Young. Outside Jordan. Down low. Antetokounmpo. That drops and it comes off an assist from Jordan.
Just off the charts, incredible athleticism from Antetokounmpo. Fending off contact like a real pro.
Bill, you've watched the NBA evolve. Talk about some of the biggest changes over the last decade you've seen.
The three-point line and the threes or foul shots philosophy, I think, is the biggest thing. Just the pace of the game has really improved. And to a really pleasing way for fans. Like just what Steve Nash was doing last decade in those Suns teams, that everybody's playing that way now. I think the social media and the players basically getting rid of the wall between them and the fans, using social media, using Instagram, and we just feel like we know these guys better. And their ability to control their own message now versus where they were 10 years ago. It all started with the decision in LeBron James and has carried through this whole decade. And these guys now, they can get whatever message out they want. They can criticize the president. They can criticize their own team. They can ask for a trade. If they get called out by some writer or somebody who writes a hit piece, they can go back at the guy and sick all their fans on the writer.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Redick against Antetokounmpo. Now, here's Redick. He's tightly guarded. The 76ers need to get off a shot. The 76ers with another miss. Going back to our topic from a moment ago, Bill, you mentioned the interaction between players and social media and how that's become a new facet, a skill we're seeing daily from players.
There's just way more accountability now. And I'm really impressed by how polished the guys are that come in the league now. And I think the LeBron generation, LeBron, Wade, Chris Bosh, some of those guys from the last generation that came up and became vets and really knew how, Paul Pierce, who knew how to handle their business. Now these new guys come in, they're 19, 20 years old, and they act like they're 30. I'm sure you see it at the games.
Shocking.
Whereas in the 90s, it was a free-for-all. And you had these guys who, if you gave them a live mic, you were terrified. And now these guys are 19 years old,
polished,
giving, long interviews to reporters. It's like, how are you doing this?
Tatum in particular is very
Tatum's
impressive.
Already good at being a bad interview. Like he doesn't say anything. He knows how to dodge any question. It's like, you're 19. How do you know how to do this?
Unbelievable.
And not surprising, obviously unhappy with the lack of response from his team.
Can't blame him. I mean, the effort hasn't been there. Just has not been there. Hopefully, he can get the fire lit.
And checking out the numbers for Antetokounmpo. This last month, he's been positively spectacular, averaging about 22 points per, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. And pretty terrific numbers across the board.
Yeah, so many books in his library. He lights up the scoreboard on a nightly basis.
Bill, the Sixers, they've embraced the symbol of the bell here in Philadelphia, ringing it before big games and after big wins.
What they haven't embraced this year is confetti. Because it came back to haunt them in Game 3. Yeah, the confetti game from the Philly-Boston series. They shoot the confetti, the game's not over, Boston wins in overtime. And I promise you, you'll never see confetti at a basketball game in Philadelphia ever again in your life.
Milwaukee shooting their first free throw of the evening. Morris is checked in for Philadelphia. That free throw good from Young.
Just a bright, young, offensive talent. Young isn't shy about forcing the action. Takes a lot of trips to the line.
Outside, Redick. Not going to go that time. Good D by Jordan. Young with the ball. Now guarded by Redick. And good that time. Ilyasova's got his first bucket in this one.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
And to battle back, they've got to shore up the defense. I mean, there's no other way to come back from a deficit unless you play good defense.
And Middleton kicks to Ilyasova. And Young now, top of the key.
This quarter has been all him, all about him. They're getting it to him in his spots, and he's taking over.
And Simmons has got the ball here for the Philadelphia 76ers. Down by 12. Past Ingles. Simmons on the wing. Antetokounmpo defending. Lets it go from the wing. No good from Simmons. So for Milwaukee, their last game, a win against the Nets in Brooklyn. And he comes up with the deuce. Middleton's got his first points of the night.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Clearly in great rhythm. They've got it going on, I mean, in a big way. Excellent job at establishing a huge lead early on.
Young against Reddick. Over Young. They get it again. Collins banked in off the glass.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
And Young kicks to Ilyasova. Over in the corner, Antetokounmpo. Ingles with the rebound.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
Another three for Philadelphia. Bill, you've done quite a few player interviews over your life, and I'm sure there are some guys that have surprised you with what they've got to say.
Yeah. I think we're in a really cool generation with basketball players where they're these really thoughtful guys who aren't afraid to share stuff. You know, some of the guys try to protect their images and their kind of their manufactured reputations, I would say, to some degree. But for the most part, the candidness of some of these guys, you can't hide on a podcast. Mm-hmm. If I have you for an hour, you're not going to be able to dodge stuff. You're going to have to talk.
You challenge people, that's the beauty of the podcast.
Well, and I don't have notes, so I do it. I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, and we're going. And you got to be ready.
That's how Larry King used to do it. Yeah.
So some guys are ready. Like Durant was great. Durant was ready to talk, and we did 5 podcasts, and everything's on the table with him. But my favorites are, somebody like Kyrie came in, really smart, kind of sort of ready to go, but not totally, but then got into it. And those are usually the best ones.
Timeout called the 76ers. I want to get back to what we were chatting about, Bill, with how today's NBA players are so media ready, whether it be interviews or social media. Your take is really interesting.
I think in general, all these guys, the guys now are so used to talking to people and being in front of people. You know, they're not surprised by questions, and they know how to handle themselves. They know how to not get in trouble, and they're comfortable.
Plus, maybe they've kind of grown up with you, though, too. You know what? You've been relevant for many years. Well, they've grown up with your stuff.
To be honest, a lot of them just know me as the white guy on NBA Countdown. They might not have read me, but they remember like that year I was with Jalen Rose, you know. But what's weird is
I think you'd be surprised. Well,
you know this too. When you're on TV, the credibility you get from being on TV, I wasn't prepared for within the NBA.
Oh, really?
I think that's true. Yeah. I think it's like, oh, he's on TV, he's okay. Mm-hmm. And maybe they don't agree with you all the time, but you pass some imaginary checkpoint with those guys.
Well, you may think that TV was your validation. This is going to be your validation.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
This is it. He's stamping you right now.
This is better than winning a Pulitzer Prize.
Bucks leading by 8. Bill, your long-lost cousin Ben Simmons headlined a tremendous rookie class in 2017. And in fact, people might think it's the best rookie season ever in the history of the league.
A lot of good players. Simmons, Mitchell, Tatum. Do we count Simmons in that class, though? I guess.
Well, since he won the Rookie of the Year, let's put him in.
All right, we'll put him in there. I think if you come out of a year of rookies and you get one guy who has a chance to be a franchise guy, that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. We had 3. If you're doing 3 a year for 10 years, you have the most ridiculous league of all time. I think the talent ebbs and flows, and we've had stretches. Like, I think last decade, in the 2000s, especially like from about 03 to 07, 08, like we were just short all-stars. We were just short a few guys, and you saw teams like the Nets with Jason Kidd made the finals 2 years in a row, and you saw the Ben Wallace Pistons team actually win the title
with no superstars.
Right, and you saw, in 06, the Pistons, remember they were on pace to win 70 games, mm-hmm. They had 4 All-Stars. The league just wasn't that good, and now it's flipped, and it's so loaded. I think from a talent standpoint, as good as any year since 1993.
Wow, that's a big statement.
Yeah, which 25 years ago, we're just loaded with guys who could be Hall of Famers someday, or you know, 8-time All-Stars, things like that. So now you look at this 17 class, and Simmons, Mitchell, Tatum, just right there. That's awesome. I still believe in Lonzo, and I still believe in De'Aaron Fox. I think those guys can be All-Stars too.
Here's Murray, and too long on the shot. Milwaukee leading by 8. To the middle, here's Parker, and the dunk by Parker.
In this first period, they've been aggressive and extremely focused.
Yeah, this is a big lead right now, a big one, and they've seized momentum and showing no signs of letting it go.
Inside, Morris with the bucket.
An efficient score inside. Morris can beat you with a variety of moves.
Milwaukee's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. And it's Antetokounmpo penetrating. No good that time. Philadelphia has gone 3 of 3 from deep. 9 points rung up from outside here in the first. White inside. Antetokounmpo defending. And it's White missing. And so Antetokounmpo will bring it up for the Bucks. 8-point game. Bill, one shot to win a game. You can pick any player. Who's going to take that shot for you?
Kevin Durant. I think he has the most ways to get a good shot off. I always look at it as, is it a quality shot to get off? So he can post the smaller guy up. He can shoot a 3. He's got the pull-up hissy jumper, as he calls it. He can go to the lane and pump fake and do a little drop step. And I just think he has the most moves. Some people would say LeBron, but am I getting regular season LeBron or playoff LeBron?
Playoff LeBron.
Playoff LeBron would be my number one choice.
He'd be pretty good.
Yeah, he'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Regular season LeBron, I'm not as enthused about.
Shamet, defended by Mejri.
Shamet.
Here's White. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
To the inside, Mejri, and a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. Antetokounmpo's got 3 assists in the game.
I was told there would be defense.
Morris looking over the floor. Murray against Parker. Good D by Parker.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear. They're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
Here's White. Hits it from three-point range. White's got 5 now.
You know, an area worthy of further development for Murray is keeping his teammates involved.
So the wing on the left. Here's Parker. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Marcus Morris picks one up there.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
And Parker drops them both.
The exceptional Parker will only continue to get better over time. I mean, he has tremendous drive to be one of the all-time greats.
Murray, the pass to Morris. Back to Murray. Jacks up a 3. The rebound by the Bucks.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
And that one's good. Parker, 8 points for him.
Parker really adept in the post. Sees angles, reads defenses, does both of those very well inside.
And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. Bucks ahead. They're up by 11. Live from Philadelphia, you're watching. Well, there are a lot of letters that go into the spelling of Giannis Antetokounmpo's last name.
In a Nigerian way, you gotta say it with a D, so it's Antetokounmpo. But in the Greek way, you say it with the NT, like Antetokounmpo. Whatever you got, just say, you know, it's Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And the
seems easy enough, right?
I guess so. I think a lot of people are going to stick with Giannis or the Greek Freak.
And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And for the Bucks here, they've been putting a show on, guys.
Yeah, it didn't take them long to get that transition game going.
Yeah, exactly. Right from the start, Greg, they were looking to get out and run, sprinting to their opportunities.
On the court for Milwaukee here in the second, Giannis and Parker, the explosive forward pair. Wright is out there with Dwayne Wade, and it's Mejri in at the 5.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Antetokounmpo's physical gifts. On a dunk last season, he literally jumped over the 6'6" Tim Hardaway Jr. You remember the play?
Yeah, I think he's going to dunk from behind the foul line during a game.
He might.
Mainly because it's so easy for him, because it's like 2 steps and he can do it. But the last guy I remember being able to do what Giannis does was younger LeBron, where LeBron was such a sick athlete, like in that 2008, 2009 range, that he almost shrunk the court. And you get a steal at half court, and then in 2 steps he was at the rim, and you would go, wow, how did that happen? And Giannis is like that. I think Anthony Davis is a little bit like that too, where it's just the geometry of the court seems screwed up when they're out there.
Up again, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. And the Bucks lead by 17.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
Now the pass to White. That shot is off. Some solid defense from Antetokounmpo. Wade finds Antetokounmpo. Can't connect from short range. Philadelphia's gone a very strong 4 for 5 from three-point land in the ball game. Shamet, Antetokounmpo defending. Here's Robinson, and it's Robinson with the jam.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
Hey, I thought there was some style there, guys. What are you guys looking at? I mean, it was still a pretty sweet, flavorful one-hand flush.
Let's go to the 2K leaderboard and see which teams have been the NBA's best in the rebounding department. The 76ers third.
You know, it's not necessarily a glamour stat, but make no mistake, their top-notch board work has been a huge key to their success.
That's good from Parker. And some changes here for the Bucks. Jordan, he's checked in for Mejri. Chris Middleton comes in for Dwayne Wade. Young is subbed in for DeLon Wright. Second free throw, no good. Bill, we know in your writing that you love to incorporate pop culture references. How did that begin with you?
Well, it began because in college, I was dropping them in columns and people were responding. I think pop culture probably mattered more when I was in college in the 80s and 90s because, you know, we didn't have the internet back then. It was harder to connect with people you didn't know. Basically, you had sports and pop culture and politics. Those were the 3 ways of I'm getting to know you. What are the 3 things we're going to talk about? I didn't want to talk about politics with anybody, so the other 2 things for me were sports, pop culture. I was also an only child in the 70s with only 5 or 6 TV channels watching Brady Bunch, Partridge Family, Sanford and Son, Jefferson's, Good Times, all that stuff. And, you know, that stuff just soaks into your DNA, and that's it.
Parker against Redick. Excellent D there from Parker.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
And Bill, in talking about the connection between pop culture, sports, and basketball during your career, through it all, you've always been a writer, though, haven't you?
Always been a writer. That was the only child of me. The thing is, though, I would have watched more basketball, but basketball wasn't on. You know, I try to explain this to people, how lucky they are to be able to watch.
They can't believe these finals were tape delayed.
Well, but think about the day-to-day, right? Like Magic Johnson. I feel like I saw his whole career, but I really didn't. Like, his first couple years in LA, I think CBS was only showing like 6 or 7 regular season games.
Sunday afternoons.
In the playoffs, they would bump him off.
Yep.
USA, I think, got the contract in maybe 1982, but for the most part, like, I love George Gervin. I probably saw him play in person twice, and I saw him on TV maybe 10 times, 12 times. And now I could watch Giannis every day. And if Giannis dunks, I could see it on Twitter 5 minutes later, 5 seconds later. So I think people are lucky. You guys should appreciate how lucky you are out there.
And the Bucks making a change here. Ilyasova's checked in. Ingles kicks to Simmons. Back to Ingles, trying to get something going. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan. The 76ers have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line. Middleton against Ingles. Middleton the pass to Young. Back to Middleton. Rebound by the 76ers. They traveled to Milwaukee last time they faced the Bucks, and they came away with a win.
And the previous meeting was a win for them and a huge day for the bench. The reserves really stepped it up with their scoring.
Greg, we know how important it is when you can go to your reserves without much drop-off in production. It gives you a big advantage. I know they'd love to see that again tonight.
Parker finds Middleton. Now here's Ilyasova. Kicks it down to Middleton. That 3 off the mark. The 76ers trail by 16. Pass to Simmons. Right side Robinson. Over Jordan. Robinson, that's good. Robinson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
You don't see that too often, the fadeaway shot when he's wide open.
Middleton the pass to Jordan. Kicks it to Parker. And the dunk by Parker.
Man, I love watching Parker take control of the offense. A score from anywhere on the court, and somebody who possesses a lot of confidence, actually boatloads of it.
And Robinson wide open, he shoots. Misses the 3.
And even without that 3 ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Simmons against Parker. The Bucks need to get a shot off here. Middleton softly drops in the floater. And the Bucks lead by 18.
And, you know, Middleton is a man of many talents. When you least expect it, he hits you with a ridiculous floater.
Redick dishes to Simmons. Here's the hook. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan's got rebound number 7 for him tonight.
Seems like he's in a hurry. He's kind of rushing his shot. Clearly out of rhythm right now. That's a big reason why they're losing.
Young taking his time here. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
Well, I tell you what, I like the clip he's shooting at. Extremely effective. If you're on defense now, you got to get the ball out of his hands.
Outside, Simmons. Here's Murray up on top. He kicks to Redick. Fires from 14, and the shot goes in. Redick's got 5.
Great setup right there. Calling for the pick and roll. Redick getting the separation he wanted to keep it and convert.
Young finds Jordan to the right side. The Bucks working the ball around. Here's Parker, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan. Jordan's got 4 assists now tonight. The 76ers trail by 20. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Murray against Young. Stolen by Middleton. Gives it up for Jordan. And stolen by Simmons. For the three. The shot will not fall. So Milwaukee will take it the other way. Their next game playing at home as the Nets come into town. They start a 3-game homestand with that game. Young against Redick. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
And a chance here to see where the Bucks currently sit in the NBA statistically.
And you look at all those steals. I mean, they play an in-your-face, aggressive style of defense. Even advancing the ball can prove to be a challenge, and they tend to feed off of that.
And the Bucks making a change here. Wade's checked in. Philadelphia's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Shamet, Wade is covering, and Simmons slams it in.
Simmons loves jamming it through, relentless in his attacking the cup.
Milwaukee leading by 20. It's Young on the wing. To the inside, Jordan. And that one, good.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
And Simmons has got the ball here for the Philadelphia 76ers. And it's blocked by Jordan.
Hey, get that weak stuff out of here. Take it home. Jordan is fantastic at rejecting those kinds of shots.
Does
Jabari
guys,
have what do you think
50?
about the hustle stats here for the Bucks?
Every time I
Well,
look,
you have to admire their intensity in the paint
Jabari's
defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition. And Kevin, they started the game shooting it so well. I'm surprised they haven't continued. They've got to get back to their strength.
Yeah, I mean, test the hot hand. You're exactly right. I say let those triples fly. Boy, the defense was great. Superb, stellar, platinum level. Can't really contest that shot any better than that. That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
Milwaukee leading by 20. Here's Young. Falls right in. He is 8 for 11 with that shot.
You know, showing he's able to finish on the drive, I really enjoy watching Young take that initiative and capitalize.
Bill, what a pleasure to have you with us. Great as always to hear your thoughts, your commentary. I hope you join us again soon.
I love it. Anytime, Kevin. Tell me.
Thank you. And Clark, always great to have Bill with us, a content creator who really taps into what the audience is thinking.
Could not agree with you more. Amen to all of that, Kevin. He's got a very loyal fan base and readers and viewers that share his vision, not just on sports, but on life. And that strong connection he has with them is admirable.
Here's what Milwaukee's going with right now. Measuring, he's checked in for Jordan. Antetokounmpo comes in for Parker, and it's DeLon right in for Young. And it's in there.
And you got to like the touch there from Wade inside. A polished interior scorer who knows how to get to his sweet spot.
Middleton against Simmons. And that one, good. Simmons got 12 in the game. Milwaukee leading by 19 points. And Wright kicks to Antetokounmpo. Looking to get it going. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And a season after he won the most improved player, Antetokounmpo, Clark, was a legit MVP contender.
No doubt about it. I think if the Bucks had been a top seed, perhaps he could have won it, although James Harden was phenomenal last season. The league has been put on notice. This is a guy who wouldn't surprise me at all if he became an MVP at some point in his career. And you might have heard this story about Giannis growing a couple of inches since he was drafted, but how about the strength this kid has added? Under 200 pounds as a rook. He's added a good 35 pounds of muscle through his dedication in the weight room.
And Simmons kicks to Morris. Shot clock at 5. Shamet. No good from outside.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
And stolen by Simmons. Doesn't go that time. So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. Bucks ahead, running away with it. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Chris Middleton. Chris, it seems...
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. We saw Trae Young lighting it up in the first half. He ended up with 24 points and 3 assists. His great performance last game out seemed to carry right over into tonight. Kenny, your thoughts on the Bucks' first half?
Their ability to get...
And that...
The beautiful skyline of downtown Philadelphia, all lit up, dressed up, and ready to go. And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to... be. It's been one outstanding game from Trae Young.
Oh, well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them, and really few forced shots here so far.
And, you know, Greg, I like how they've set the pace. There's a lot of time left in this one, so there's no rush. You don't have to go 70 miles an hour. Keep it at about 45.
Simmons runs the show with Redick at the 2. Joe Ingles is out there with Collins, and it's Robinson in at the center position. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. And so he makes both from the line.
And I'll tell you, Trae Young, go big or go home. Always gives you 100%, as competitive as they come. And the young fella wants to win so badly, sometimes that emotion really comes out.
Milwaukee leading by 23. Count that bucket.
And guys, this is the blueprint for winning on the road. How about the level of focus on each and every possession?
Yeah, it's actually palpable, isn't it, Greg? I mean, you can feel it. Every single one of these guys locked in, playing for each other. And that's why they're up. Phenomenal timing that time, guys, from Simmons. I mean, leaving the ground once the pass was released and then tearing the basket almost out of the glass.
And that Unleash Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. And you know, Greg, it's amazing the impact Young makes, especially, of course, on the offensive end.
High-level shot maker, a threat the moment he crosses half court. Instinctive playmaker, just needs to play more within himself and avoid over-dribbling.
Middleton against Ingles. Jordan, good, and the assist goes to Middleton. Jordan's got his second basket.
Jordan very efficient in the paint because of his length. Close to the bucket, he's hard to deal with.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Here's Simmons. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Mark, you were in Indiana after being drafted by the Pacers for a few seasons. Who are some of the more talented guys you played with there?
Well, Herb Williams, a teammate of mine at Ohio State, really outstanding big guy, mobile, could shoot it, excellent defender, shot blocker, and a high-quality guy. Vern Fleming was a guard that had size, excellent defender, driver of the ball. Wayman Tisdale, man, he rest in peace. We lost Wayman a number of years ago to cancer. But really a gifted scorer. Steve Stepanovich, he and I both had to retire about the same time due to different knee trouble, and he was a rugged, mobile, good shooting big guy who I think would have continued to excel had he not had to retire.
Both good from the line that time.
Well, for the Bucks in 2017, it was the opening of their new state-of-the-art team facility. A year later, right next door, They've inaugurated their new home arena.
Yeah, still moving a little bit when he set that screen. He'll argue that he was set, but I really didn't think so.
It was very close, and I wouldn't mind letting them play on that one. It wasn't blatant by any means.
And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. And Simmons slams it in.
And really, Simmons makes it look elementary, simple. I mean, the way he attacks defenses from multiple angles is hard to deal with if you're defending him.
Jordan, the pass to Young. Robinson with the block. Simmons feeling it out a bit. Pass to Collins. Outside Robinson. Here's Redick. Just 5 to shoot. Rebound Milwaukee. Antetokounmpo's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Takes it down to Middleton. He had stolen by Ingles. Simmons passes to Collins. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
Just a tremendous feel for the game. Simmons is so gifted at reading the floor.
Young dishes to Jordan. Back to Young. The putback. Rebound by the 76ers. Collins has got 4 rebounds in this game. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
Well, it might have taken Joe Ingles a few years to adjust to the NBA, but he looks right at home now. He was playing overseas until he made the NBA jump at age 27. The way he's playing now, it was worth the wait.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
The first one falls. And for Ingles, he's a player that gives you a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he's played in a number of leagues and has picked up quite a few tricks along the way. Great passer, can act as that point forward if you need him to, but his shooting from the outside has made him into the strong player that he is. A career 40% shooter from 3.
He's perfect from the line this time.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Yeah, they're making the most of their opportunities at the stripe, and they'll need to keep it up to take the lead.
And Robinson comes to help. Here's Jordan. Robinson with the block.
He's been terrible. Absolutely awful. I mean, can't get it going. His shot isn't there right now. You got to help him some other ways. Tell you what, Kevin, they will take that look every time. Limited defense, great shot. Just came up empty. You live with those.
Simmons on the wing. Defended by Middleton. And Simmons kicks to Redick. Back to Simmons. 4 on the shot clock. Sweet little floater. Simmons got 8 points in the quarter.
When he's sprinting down the court like that to the basket, Simmons is virtually impossible to stop.
Ilyasova against Collins. Ilyasova finds Young.
No luck for him this half after being outstanding from outside the arc in the first half.
On the wing, Ingles. Back to Simmons. He dishes it to Redick. Back to Simmons. Over Young. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. Jamal Murray, he's checked in for the 76ers. And Milwaukee also making a switch. Parker's checked in. And the Bucks with possession here. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. They could use a bucket. Young's shot is off.
And so far this quarter, he's been a little off on his game.
Just a touch. I mean, it seems like he's forcing shots a little bit to me, Greg. Not playing his game right now, and with every miss, the pressure intensifies.
Simmons, and they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Milwaukee.
And they haven't been pushed around in the paint at all in this game. They have been the aggressors.
Something that also stands out tonight is the number of assists they have. I mean, that's a mark of a good club.
The 76ers making a switch here. Morris is checked in. That's good from Simmons. We always talk about the need for front court players who can both shoot and defend along the perimeter. Clark, if you're taking that in mind, who would you point to as the prototype for the new school big?
Well, I think the guy with the most potential in that regard is Joel Embiid. I mean, he's agile. He's got a nice touch. He's got three-point range. He's got post-up ability. And I think he can become an impactful defender because of his physical attributes. So he would be the poster guy for me in terms of the potential prototype for the new school big.
Timeout called the 76ers. And Chris Middleton, 39th overall pick back in 2012, a throw-in in the Brandon Knight, Brandon Jennings trade. Yet, Clark, you know, you look back and he was the best player by far in that deal.
Kevin, a player's individual journey of development is hard to predict. He's now one of the best two-way wings in the league, and I think he surprised a lot of people, but it's a credit to his work ethic and his skill level.
Dwayne Wade's checked in for Chris Middleton. And how about a look now at the first-year block leaders in the NBA? Here are the top rookie intimidators. Number 5 is John Collins.
And that ability to send shots away at the rim, so highly valued, it takes guts to put yourself in harm's way and contest those finishers.
Boy, he does such a good job of positioning himself, so you have a hard time getting shots over him. One of the best of all rookies denying the rim.
Robinson for 3. Another miss by Philadelphia.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
And Morris comes over to help. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. Average value of an NBA team, Clark, over $1 billion. And I can't even believe I'm saying that, but the league wasn't always so healthy and always thriving the way it is now.
Yeah, every business goes through periods of prosperity and challenge. The league, NBA, no different. Early 80s, there were real struggles and challenges. Then there was a real bump as we got into the late 80s and into the 90s, plateaued a bit, and now we're on a great ascension. But the players and the league have really worked well together to bring the league to a greater level of popularity and success in this time period now. And you can't discount the big money from TV contracts. That fuels the fire quite a bit as well. The entire defense was frozen-footed. Nobody picked up the shooter, Kevin.
Outside, Simmons. That's tipped. And now Young running the floor all by himself. Can't hit from in close.
Nothing's going his way since the horn. I mean, looks like he used up all his mates in the last quarter.
Here's Morris. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's on Jabari Parker.
Such a versatile offensive threat. Morris draws his fair share of fouls.
And these are his second and third free throws tonight. That free throw good for Morris. Measury, he's checked in for Milwaukee. Wright comes in for Young, and Morris drops them both.
And that's another area where he is just a superb player. Excellent at the free throw line.
Wade kicks to Antetokounmpo. This is the Parker. Bucks passing it around. And the basket good by Measury.
Nice awareness from the young forward. Giannis Antetokounmpo showing he wants to work it to his guys.
Right the pass to Murray. To the paint. Excellent D from Wade.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
That one is good. He's only missed one shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
Boy, you got to admire the mid-range game of Wade. Has this area of the floor on lock. I mean, incredibly efficient from here.
And finished off by Collins.
And maybe that'll trigger them. Impossible not to get pumped up after that.
Yeah, well, you can see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are pumped up.
And that's what those alley-oops will do for a team. Ignition switch ignited.
Murray against Wade. 6 on the shot clock. Stolen away. To the paint. Here's White. It's hauled in by Dwayne Wade. Bucks leading by 14. Here's Antetokounmpo. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
Here's Collins. 8 points for him. 6 to shoot. Murray, good. Murray's got 5.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Here's Antetokounmpo. Good for basket number 6 from him in the contest. He's shooting 6 for 12. The 76ers trail by 16. To the paint. It's stolen by Antetokounmpo. Wade against White. Out to Parker. Knocks it loose. Measury finds Wade. And stolen by White. Shamet. A 3-pointer, no good. And it's Antetokounmpo with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Bucks. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. Parker passes to Measury. 2 points. That one goes.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Philadelphia has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Passes it to Collins. Kicks it to Murray. Over right. The 76ers with another miss. Bucks leading by 19. To the middle. And Antetokounmpo with the basket on the assist by Wade. 16 points for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Philadelphia shooting around 44% in this third quarter. Murray outside. There's the dish to Morris. Collins kicks to Morris. Out left to the wing. Shamet cans it from downtown. He's got 8.
And how about the setup? Man, Morris keeping his head up. Beautiful assist.
The pass to Measury. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Inside, deflects the pass. Double team on Parker. Wade with no one around. Trying to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. In the corner, Murray with it. And a miss there on the triple. And for Milwaukee, their shooting has been outstanding in this game at 58%. Pass to Wade. Back to Antetokounmpo. With 1 on the clock. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And Philadelphia gets called for the foul.
Man, that was a remarkable pump fake from Antetokounmpo. I mean, he's really good at selling that shot fake.
And so it's the Milwaukee Bucks controlling the game and finishing the quarter with a 20-point lead. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
For me, next to the big-time alley-oops and monster throwdowns, passes like that are probably the next best thing when it comes to sweet-looking NBA highlights.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first three quarters. Setting the floor for the Bucks, Middleton and Giannis are out on the wings. Measuring is out there with Jabari Parker, and it's Wade in at the point guard position. To the middle. Shot's good by Middleton. Middleton's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for Milwaukee. 76ers shooting here about 46% for the game. Collins passes to Morris. You know, there's always this debate, Clark. Could the best teams 20 years ago beat the best teams of today?
I think there would be some compelling matchups, and I think you would find winners on both sides from different eras. I really do. It's hard to compare just because of the difference in eras and periods, but really good championship teams typically could handle most teams in the current era. I believe that in all sports. So compelling matchups, and I do think some teams from a couple of decades ago could handle some of the teams that we see winning championships now.
Shamet defended by Measury. 5 on the clock. In the corner, it's Morris. Outside, White. Fires from deep, and Wade sends it back.
I'll tell you what, Wade's one of the best in the history of the game as a shot blocker from the two-guard position, using his athleticism to leap up and turn shots away.
The 76ers have gone 0-3 to start the fourth quarter, and the foul on Dwayne Wade. That's his first foul. Both teams deciding to change it up. Simmons against Middleton, and the basket by Ingles.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Bucks leading by 20. Middleton outside. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. No good with the layup. 76ers have gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. And Simmons slams it in.
And folks, those are hops you just don't see from that one spot every day.
Well, that's why he is such an uncommon talent.
Yep, uncommon and unparalleled. I mean, he makes things happen out there for sure.
Young against Redick. Shot clock at 6. Ilyasova finds Middleton. Shot's good from Young.
Great basketball from him, Kevin. A commanding performance, helping add to the lead this quarter.
Simmons passes to Robinson. Back to Simmons. Pass to Redick. There's the 3. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got assist number 7 for him tonight.
He had 1 in the first as well. He can be dangerous. Keep an eye on him.
Young with the ball. Out guarded by Redick.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
Down low, here's Simmons, and it's blocked by Jordan. And they're running. And Young kicks to Middleton. Milwaukee the rebound. A 3 ball. It's hauled in by the 76ers.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
Simmons, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Sometimes you just have no way of stopping Simmons on the interior. I mean, he's a very skilled player who gets these calls routinely.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
That's exactly when you need to be aggressive, Greg. You know that. I mean, another good job, though, of drawing contact and getting to the free throw line.
Young in the corner. And Morris comes over to help. To the paint. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Right side, Redick. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Reddick's got 5 points in the quarter.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
And he's on his way to putting up a big three-point total.
The 76ers trail by 18. To the paint, it's deflected. It's stolen by Antetokounmpo. Middleton against Ingle. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Marcus Morris picks one up there.
The athleticism of Middleton puts defenders in a rough spot. I mean, sometimes you just have to whack him and hope he misses the shot. Well, you want to talk about the smoothest players in the league? You can't forget about Chris Middleton. I mean, he's not a blow-you-away athlete, but he has really good length and a sweet stroke, and he can get his shot off anytime.
To the paint, here's Reddick. The basket good off the assist from Simmons.
Nice touch there near the hoop.
And so Young will bring it up for Milwaukee. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. Outside Jordan, down low. Middleton can't get it to go. And you look at Chris Middleton, Clark. What doesn't he do well?
You know, there's not much. He does a little bit of everything well. He's a smart, versatile defender. He can command the double team with his scoring and punish the double team with his passing as well. He can hurt you a lot of different ways, Kevin.
He kicks it to Ilyasova. Passes it to Antetokounmpo. Just 5 on the clock.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Yeah, they've not missed a single foul shot this half, and that's taking care of business, fellas.
No good on that one.
And, you know, really, when you look at Antetokounmpo, he's got it all. I mean, he can score it, rebound it, he passes it pretty well, defends with intensity, and he's really versatile and going to continue to get better because of his work ethic.
Bucks leading by 16. The shot by Middleton, wide open. Traps in the tray.
Not shot from outside. There's no doubt about that. Spreading the floor and getting them up.
Love the mentality there, I tell you. I know I've never coached, but, man, playing to win and being aggressive even with the lead as opposed to being safe and going into prevent offense, I'll take the former all day long. Play to win.
Young's shot is off. Philadelphia has gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Ingles can't get it to go.
He's still looking for his first three-pointer of the second half after making just 1 in the first.
And the pass to Antetokounmpo.
Not quite enough defense. That time around, just lucky he was off.
Reddick finds Simmons. Sweet little floater. Simmons got 30.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
And, Greg, you know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example, knowing where each other is at all times.
Outside, Reddick. Got a hand on it.
Boy, the defensive chops of Ilyasova really coming into play here. I mean, quite surprising, actually impressive at how good he is at timing those shot blocks.
Reddick with it, and Young picks him up defensively. Simmons with it. Over Ilyasova. No good from Simmons.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Shot's good by Middleton.
He is pouring it on in the second half, guys. I mean, a much better showing than he had before the break.
Simmons passes to Reddick. Out to Morris. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. Inside, Simmons. And that's good. Robinson picking up the assist. That's now 32 points for Ben Simmons. Young up top, covered by Reddick. Back to Young. Middleton outside. Lets it go with the three. Ben Simmons with the rebound. Simmons got rebound number 5 here tonight.
And, you know, even with him struggling, they're still up. But they need him to find his rhythm soon.
Past Ingles. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
And the amount of space Antetokounmpo covers is really breathtaking. You got to see it to believe it. I mean, he erases shots that you think he has no chance to get to.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Back to Simmons. Outside, Reddick. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Teams of the past would often pound the offensive glass, Clark. I think of the '84 Celtics, but now teams are running only 1, maybe 2 guys to the offensive boards.
I think a big part of it is transition defense is so important that teams now don't send as many people to the offensive glass. But the flip side of that is if you get offensive rebounds, you get opportunities to score and you can thwart transition chances. So I tilt towards trying to get to the offensive glass as long as you've got a couple of guys that are really good at it.
John Collins, he's checked in for Morris. And Milwaukee with a change here too. Parker's checked in. And Young kicks to Jordan. Back to Young. Parker looking over the floor. And the dunk by Jordan.
Phenomenal court vision by Parker. He really has all the tools to be a great player in this league.
Inside, it's tipped. Parker with the steal. Young outside. Jordan high post. Young against Reddick. Jordan finds Parker. Over in the corner, Antetokounmpo. Changes up. Robinson with the block. And they get it back. Good. There's 1:54 left here in the 4th quarter. Simmons with it. Now guarded by Middleton. Simmons passes to Robinson. Stolen by Middleton. Fast break, Milwaukee. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And, you know, Middleton is really dangerous on the drive. He often gets to the rim in a heartbeat and forces defenders to end up fouling him.
And DeAndre Jordan, the all-time leader in career field goal percentage, Greg, by a sizable margin.
Yeah, the most prolific dunker in the league, maybe in league history.
And that one falls for Middleton. You know, every coach talks about playing team basketball, Clark. When it comes to the fans, they really come out to see the stars. What do you think is the psychology behind that?
Well, I think fans enjoy elite players and great talent across any sport. But they also recognize that team play is critical to winning. So I think it's a combination. Fans, I think we've got to give them a little more credit. Sure, they want to see the stars play, but they want to win, and they know to win, teams have to be about team basketball, not just highlighting and enjoying the stars.
The first free throw is good.
Boy, Reddick has some of the most admirable traits you want to see in any basketball player. His professionalism and work ethic that made him the player he is today.
Jordan, he's checked in for the Bucks. Milwaukee leading by 22.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Bucks.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And for the year now, they'll have 52 wins under the belt.
Well, at least they're going to salvage a game from the season series after losing the first two.
And I think it says a lot about them that they were able to salvage this game. When you drop the first two against a team, you can often get down on yourself. They overcame that mental roadblock and were impressive in doing so.
A very solid win indeed. And when you check out the box, there were some great numbers for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
You can do a lot to change a game other than scoring, and it was his quick hands on the defensive end that put them in the driver's seat.
Jordan high post, as to measuring. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. And the dunk by Jordan.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
And Greg, you know how hard it is to win on the road, but they seem to have this one firmly in control and have been very impressive today.
And White kicks to Redick. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Just 5 to shoot. The three. Measuring with the rebound. Wade outside. And so it's the Bucks taking care of business in this one. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both.
David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now.
And pass it. My fatty stretched like elastic. Yeah, bro, I gotta have it. Born to survival tactics. I'm so. I can't even feel my face. Disrespect, get out of.